on Odyssey.
Just 1 week to go before the grand final showdown in the West, and we can't wait on Soccer Central. Is this man the key for Carlton reaching the decider against Perth? Simon Colosimo joins us to relive an incredible comeback. We chat to Socceroos coaching legend Frank Arok as he plans to return to his homeland of Yugoslavia. And of course, Wadey and Mike will give us the rundown on this week's preliminary final. 36 weeks down, 2 to go. This is Soccer Central.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the penultimate Soccer Central. Or if you like to call a spade, the second last one. Looking forward to bringing you all the highlights of the 2 games last weekend and previewing this weekend. But first, as we always do, let's have a look at what's making news this week in the National Soccer League.
The crowd at Subiaco Oval has surpassed the aggregate total of all the finals crowds in this year's playoffs and must surely have Soccer Australia questioning the future of the 16-team competition. LG Socceroo coach Frank Farina has named a 26-man squad for the 3-game series against Paraguay starting next week. Farina has named 10 home-based players in the squad. The inclusion of Olympic dynamo Gabriel Mendes sure to add some real spark to a star-studded midfield. While Mendes has earned his spot through consistency, it's a selection of another NSL star that has everyone talking. Carlton defender Simon Colosimo has been added after Marconi's Brad Maloney was ruled out through injury. Colosimo's return to international football, reward for his outstanding form since coming back from reconstruction surgery on his knee. Back to the NSL, and after bowing out of the finals race to Carlton last weekend, Sydney Olympic coach Branko Chelina has urged club management to get cracking on securing a squad for next season. Still undecided on his own future, Chelina believes the club must move quickly to keep the nucleus of this side together. With the bulk of the squad off contract and Olyroos captain Brett Emerton certain to head overseas, Olympics' assault on next season's competition could be in danger if they don't secure the likes of Cardozo, Mendes and Scott Thomas, who all finished their obligations with the club last week.
Well, is there anyone with more passion for the game than Frank Arok? Still going strong, still got plenty to say, no thoughts of retirement. Wadey caught up with him during the week.
It's no coincidence that when you think of some of Australia's finest moments on the international stage, this man comes to mind. Frank Arok has been here for 23 years. For 7 of those, he guided the fortunes of our national side. Now he's set to return to his native Yugoslavia, although the decision has not been made an easy one.
This is the best place in the whole world, Sydney. Because what everyone says, if I would be able to choose where I'm going to live forever and choose from the first day to be born here, I would say, yep, yeah.
To say he'll be lost to Australian soccer is an understatement. In recent years, his work with this country's young stars has become a passion, and he'll miss it.
I'm working with kids, and I love it. That's the only part I love it, that you can choose a kid 12, 13, 14-year-old, and you can say, now that kid is going to be something special.
You might not always agree with Frank, but you always respect his opinion. And when it comes to the development of our youngsters, he's as outspoken as ever about the Institute of Sport.
How on earth they think that 20 players, that they handpicked 20 players, and they are, just like in every other thing, the government is picking the winners. It's stupid. Instead, the institute should have, if they got $1 million, get together 20 coaches, the very best talented coaches, teach them how to do it, as 20 times 20 is, regardless what you are saying, it's about 400. So you got a much more broader talent in your hand than handpick it 20 and and the worst is that they are doing something what is unacceptable in this country and anywhere in the world. They are saying to the kids, if you are not in a system, you can't play for Austria. Now that is unheard of anywhere in the world. It's worse than in Soviet Union. That is my problem with these cities.
If you want to put it bluntly, Arok is the man who put the mongrel into Australia's national team. When he took over in 1983, we were happy to lose 1 or 2-0. Not Frank. Victory was the only worthy result.
If I ever thought that I'm not going to be the best, I wouldn't do it. So every time I'm used to take over a team, I dreamed about it, that team must win something. I always try to find a way how to beat them. I never ever talked about playing for draw or whatever. Because when 11 young men put their mind together and heart, and they're ready to fight for something, they can come up with magical things. And magic is all the time up here and in your heart.
His greatest result as coach of Australia? Well, that's certainly arguable, but most remember when Australia downed the might of Argentina 4-1. Huh. And what about this for a goal?
It's given, it's Wayne. What a start. They chased the referee to Argentina.
Definitely everyone is remembering the 4-1 against Argentina. And it was once again one of those things that I think that the preparation, how we done it and how we brainwashed ourselves worked to the extent that they didn't know what is hitting them.
Through it all, this lady has been his rock. Gordana has been married to Frank and to the game of soccer for 44 years.
I fell in love with him and I like his character. He always, what I like in Frank, he never does a job, he's on mission. You know, like Socceroos, that was his mission, that wasn't his job. He always gives himself 100%.
Although the Aroks will be leaving our shores, the passion and desire to see Australia do well at the international level will always be there. But he says Frank Farina is more than welcome to the top job.
By the way, if people are asking, would you do the job? And I would say no.
You wouldn't do it today?
No, not at all. I don't think so that I got as much energy as I had in 80s. You need now a guy who is full of energy, confidence, competence, and being a very, very good negotiator. But the but is coming. I would always have at least 4 or 5 players from here, and that is the backbone of the team. If the stars are coming, welcome. If they're not coming, so who cares? So why on earth we are talking all the time about them and not say to pick one, Chichi Mendes. Chichi Mendes is as good as any. And the next thing is what I'm going to say is I yet to see a big improvement of any player who left the country and came back. Emerton is as good as any of those guys over there. So why on earth we are so mesmerized to have all the players from overseas playing for us? And then the big egos, the big